Number three, the future regret close. You want to trigger emotion in seconds because people fear loss more than they desire gain. So instead of talking about benefits, making them feel like what happens if they don't take action, get them to picture their future self dealing with the consequences of waiting too long. Here's an example. Um, Life insurance can help protect your family's future if something were to happen to you. You see how that's like, yeah, maybe if, ands, or buts. Matter of fact, micro story. I had a sales call yesterday. The lady kept saying, I don't plan to go anywhere. When I die, way in the future, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, oh, okay. There's it's interesting you say that because I guess there's some people who feel like anything could happen, and we're never promised tomorrow. And there's some people who feel like, oh, I'm not really worried about taking care of my future because it's so far away and I plan to live forever. I mean, which camp do you kind of fall into? And then of course she has to say, well, I'm not going to live forever, and something might happen. I was like, something might happen. Well, I mean, like, what do you mean? It seems like you were pretty sure you're never gonna die. We don't need to get coverage if you're just gonna save up over the past next 50 years until you actually feel like it's important. I mean, what makes you feel like it's even worth looking into right now if you feel that way? She's like, well, to be honest, I've had several near-death experiences recently. So I'm like, oh, so you don't feel like tomorrow's promised to you? What in the world happened? What experiences did you have? And so now she gets to go on and on and on about how she was almost in this car accident or she almost died this way. And, I'm not going to tell this woman's business, but at the end of the day, you have to dive in because if you give people an out and there's no emotion tied to it and they feel like it's never going to happen, then you don't have a sale. So the better approach, imagine it's a year from now. And I guess that car accident does happen. Um, and your son is kind of left in the lurch because we were kind of pushing it off. What would what would he do next? What would that moment feel like? It works.